He delivered words that waited years to be read. This is a story of Elias, a postman in a small, forgotten town where time seemed to fold in on itself. The crisp, white envelope to the widow at number 12, always from a law firm, always left on her dusty mantelpiece, unopened. Elias knew the story behind every single one. He saw the hope in a young woman's eyes as she mailed a letter to a sweetheart overseas. And he saw the flicker of that hope dim with each passing year that no reply came. He delivered bills that he knew would bring worry, and birthday cards that would bring fleeting joy. But it was the unopened letters that haunted him, that truly told the story of the town. For 20 years, every single month, a thick, cream-colored envelope would arrive, addressed in elegant, looping script to a Mizalara Vance. And for 20 years, Elias would place it in the same rusted mailbox, knowing it would join the others inside, a silent, growing testament to something unspoken. The townsfolk had their theories. Some said Ilara was a recluse, heartbroken and waiting for a love who would never return. Others whispered she was eccentric, a woman who simply didn't believe in the past or the future, only the present moment. Elias never asked. It wasn't his place. His job was to deliver, not to pry. But curiosity is a persistent guest. One day, a fierce storm swept through the town, tearing shingles from roofs and toppling the ancient oak by the town square. During his route the next morning, Elias found the old mailbox at the ivy-covered cottage had been torn from its post, its contents spilled across the damp earth. There they were, dozens upon dozens of cream-colored envelopes, some yellowed with age, their seals still intact. His heart hammered in his chest. It felt like sacrilege, like stumbling upon a sacred, private ritual. He gathered them carefully, wiping the mud from their surfaces, his fingers tracing the elegant handwriting. He could have just put them back, but something stopped him. A feeling, a responsibility, bloomed in his chest. These weren't just letters. They were a life. He knocked on the door. It creaked open to reveal a woman with eyes the color of a stormy sea and silver hair braided down her back. Ilara Vance. She looked not at him, but at the bundle of letters in his hands. A flicker of something not surprise, but perhaps recognition passed across her face. "You've found my collection," she said, her voice raspy, as if from disuse. He explained what happened, apologizing for the intrusion. He expected her to be angry, to snatch them away. Instead, she invited him in for tea. Inside, the cottage was a time capsule. Stacks of books, half-finished paintings, and dust motes, dancing in the sunbeams that sliced through the gloom. As the kettle whistled, she finally told him the story. The letters were from her sister, a world-renowned travel writer. They had been incredibly close, but a bitter argument had driven them apart decades ago. Her sister, determined to bridge the gap, began writing to her every month, detailing her adventures, her thoughts, her regrets. "Why didn't you open them?" Elias asked, his voice barely a whisper. Ilara smiled, a sad, gentle curve of her lips. "In the beginning, I was too proud, too hurt. I told myself I didn't need her words. And then, too much time had passed. Opening them felt like admitting how long I had been wrong, how much I had missed. So, I just let them be." Knowing she was writing was enough. It was her way of saying she hadn't forgotten me. And this, she gestured to the stacks of unopened mail, was my way of holding on to that, without having to face the pain inside. She explained that she could tell from the postmarks where her sister had been the deserts of Morocco, the mountains of Nepal, the bustling markets of Thailand. She had followed her sister's journey across the globe, all without reading a single word. Elias listened, his role as a simple postman transforming into that of a confessor. He realized then that the unopened letters weren't a symbol of neglect, but of a strange, unwavering love, a connection that persisted despite silence and distance. A week later, another cream-colored envelope arrived. But this one was different. The handwriting was shaky, and the postmark was from a local hospice just 2 towns over. Elias's hands trembled as he walked up Alera's garden path. He didn't put this one in the mailbox. He knocked on the door and handed it to her directly. Their eyes met, and an understanding passed between them. This was the one. The last one. She took it from him, her fingers tracing the seal. For the first time in 20 years, she broke it. Elias never knew what that final letter said. His job was to deliver, not to read. But the next morning, as he passed by the ivy-covered cottage, he saw something new. The front door was wide open, and from within, he could hear the faint, beautiful sound of a piano being played, a melody both melancholic and hopeful. The house, once silent, was finally filled with music. His route continued, but Elias was a changed man. He no longer saw just envelopes and addresses. He saw the weight of unspoken words, the endurance of hope, and the intricate, invisible threads that connect us all. He understood that sometimes the most powerful messages are the ones we are not yet ready to hear, and his job, his purpose, was to make sure those messages were there, waiting for when the time was finally right. He delivered more than mail. He delivered possibility, and in a world moving faster every day, he was a quiet reminder that some things, some stories, are worth the wait. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the quiet corners of the world. Follow us for more content.